First, police say a man in Middle Tennessee shot his wife and put her dismembered body in a freezer.
In the early morning hours of a quiet Friday in Springfield, Tennessee, the routine hum of suburbia was shattered by a 911 call that would unveil one of the most disturbing domestic homicide cases in memory. On the line was a 45-year-old Joseph Parker, calm, composed, and speaking in a tone that betrayed no urgency. His words, however, painted a macabre picture. "This is no crank call," he told the operator. "I shot my wife in the temple of her head. I thought I'd killed her. She's in the freezer. I checked on her tonight and she's not dead." What followed would leave an entire community stunned, investigators shaken, and a family irrevocably broken. In this video, we break down the haunting 911 audio, the twisted crime, and the questions that still disturb investigators. Joseph Parker's victim was his 44-year-old wife, Samantha Parker. The couple lived in the quiet Oakland Farm subdivision in Springfield, where neighbors described them as reclusive but seemingly normal. They kept their blinds shut, rarely socialized, and seldom left the house together. By all outward appearances, nothing seemed amiss, until Joseph confessed to what he had done. According to the chilling details Joseph shared during his 911 call, he shot his wife in the head while she was asleep. Believing she was dead, he moved her body to a freezer in their garage, presumably to conceal the crime. He told the operator that she had been frozen for 48 hours. "She's frozen solid," he remarked. "It's amazing she's still alive." In a statement filled with contradictions, claiming he loved her while also describing her dismembered body, Joseph tried to cast himself as both aggressor and caregiver. "I made her as comfortable as I could make her," he said. "She can't talk. I could get her to blink. Blink one means yes, blink twice means no." Despite his calm demeanor, what the police found at the scene was nothing short of horrific. When authorities arrived at the Parker residence, they were met with a grisly sight. Samantha's body was found in a small garage freezer, partially dismembered, with sections of her legs removed to make her fit. There was no sign of life. Joseph had fled the scene. Springfield Police Chief David Thompson later confirmed that a manhunt was initiated as soon as the call came through. Authorities tracked Joseph's phone to Nashville early that Friday and issued a warrant for his arrest by noon. But before he could be taken into custody, Joseph made a final, irreversible decision. Joseph Parker was located in Kentucky, near mile marker 12 on Interstate 65, pursued by multiple agencies, including the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the U.S. Marshals Service. But as officers moved in to arrest him, Joseph pulled out a firearm and shot himself inside his vehicle. His death brought a tragic and abrupt end to the pursuit of justice for Samantha Parker, leaving many unanswered questions in its wake. What drove a man to such an unspeakable act? Why had he waited 2 days before calling for help? And was his story of her blinking a delusion, a lie, or a horrifying truth? The murder of Samantha Parker and the suicide of her husband left their daughter Mackenzie in a deeply complicated emotional space. At a balloon release held in her mother's memory, she expressed an unexpected sentiment. "Today I find myself missing both of them equally," she told Fox 17. Rather than responding with anger, Mackenzie spoke of forgiveness and grace. "A lot of people ask me why I'm not angry," she said. "They showed me what I would like to have in a marriage someday." Her words, spoken in the aftermath of such a tragedy, pointed to a deeper emotional complexity, one shaped by love, trauma, and perhaps an enduring hope that the good memories would someday outshine the horror. Neighbors in the Oakland Farm subdivision struggled to come to terms with the tragedy. Chloe Crabtree, who lived next door, described Joseph as a very stern man who kept to himself. "I didn't really see them go out," she said. "They were very quiet, the kind of people who never left the blinds open." Another neighbor, Rhonda Haley, recalled a recent birthday party thrown by the Parkers for their grandson. She said Samantha rarely left the house and Joseph was quiet, often seen working on his car or mowing the lawn. "It's kind of scary," she said. "You just don't see that every morning when you get up, that your neighbor has killed his wife. It is a little unnerving." The motives behind the murder are still not entirely clear. Some reports suggest that Joseph Parker had recently lost his job and the couple's home was in foreclosure. These stressors may have contributed to an emotional or psychological breakdown, though no mental health diagnosis has been officially released. Joseph's 911 call was a labyrinth of contradictions. He confessed, yet seemed detached. He claimed to love his wife, even as he described injuring and freezing her. He spoke of helping her blink responses, a statement that investigators could neither confirm nor explain. Was it a hallucination brought on by guilt, a desperate ploy for sympathy, or an eerie indication that Samantha had, in fact, clung to life for some time in the freezer? These uncertainties add to the case's horror, a reminder that some truths may never be fully known. The Joseph Parker murder case is a chilling example of how domestic violence can fester in silence, behind closed blinds and quiet routines. It raises difficult questions about mental health, stress, and the fragile boundary between love and destruction. For the Parkers' daughter, the ordeal is now a lifelong shadow. For their neighbors, it's a cautionary tale that even the most unassuming homes can hide unfathomable secrets. And for investigators and journalists alike, the case remains a haunting narrative of tragedy, sorrow, and unanswered questions. While Samantha Parker's life was cut short in the most violent of ways, her memory now lives in the hearts of those who knew her and in the shocking story that forced a quiet Tennessee community to confront the unimaginable. If you found this video informative or thought-provoking, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into true crime.